Welcome to South Shore Marine. My name's Will Kruger, joined alongside our good friend Gary Werkner here on this beautiful 328 Pursuit. Gary's one of our riggers here at South Shore Marine, and what's happening with this boat? It's all torn apart.
Well, this is one of our stock boats. Whenever we get a stock boat in, if it does not have electronics on it from the factory, sales will determine what they feel is appropriate for this particular model, and we will do the installation of a basic rigging package, which typically consists, in this case, of two navigation displays, one of them having a fish finder sounder in it, and then a VHF radio. Both displays, along with the Yamaha display, will get networked, so there'll be connectivity between all three displays. So whatever function one display does, all three of them do.
So it's actually like, you said your engine display here. This is a kind of a third multifunction display, is what you would say?
It is. It's a Yamaha display, but Garmin actually manufactures the display for Yamaha and puts their software in it, so it's fully compatible with Garmin, and it also has Garmin software in it as well. So when we network and interface that together with the multifunction displays, it makes it essentially a third navigation display, and the Garmin's will be engine displays as well.
Got it.
So you have the flexibility of moving any data to any display.
Seems to me these Garmin screens are just incredibly intuitive.
They are, and it's really the reason we changed to Garmin probably 10 or 12 years ago now, is the ease of use. The user interface on them are second to none. Very intuitive, very easy to use. There's, the learning curve on them is, you really don't have to look at a manual anymore.
I almost say
push
it's like,
the buttons.
Everybody has an iPad or an iPhone or whatever. It's as simple as that.
Right. They're all touch screen. They all do the pinch to zoom, and scroll the screen just like your iPhone or your iPad.
So with this boat, this is a 32-foot Pursuit. If somebody wanted to add radar to this boat.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. It's completely convertible system. You want to add any radar to it, you can add thermal imaging cameras to it, third-party thermal imaging cameras. You can add, an aft cockpit. In this case, you can put a camera on the back of the hardtop, and watch the action behind you. If you're towing a skier, if you're backing down a fish or something like that, you can watch it right from the screen. You can add an autopilot to the system. So there's just a lot of upgradability to this system. So that's kind of why we start with it. It gives you all your basic functions, your engine gauges, your GPS chart plotter navigation, your fish finder depth and seawater temp and everything. And from that point on, when we sell the boat, the new owner can determine what other things they want. Yeah. So we're not putting equipment on the boat that somebody necessarily may not want or need.
Right.
But we're giving them the option to build from a basic system.
Awesome. Well, so the rigging side of things, this is one very small aspect of your day-to-day. I mean, I would say that your scope of things you do at South Shore Marine is pretty big.
Well, yeah, I focus obviously on the rigging side, but electronics is a portion of it. We've got into doing Optimus steering in the last 2.5 years. I did quite a few of those, where we would take the steering out of this boat completely, every last piece of it, and we would put in fly-by-wire steering and joystick control, which enables you to walk the boat straight sideways or spin it on its axis. If you go with their 360 system, basically it's a dynamic positioning system. Will hold the boat in place. It will allow the boat to drift, and you can hold just heading. It'll have an integrated autopilot in that system. So that's something that we've got into in the last couple of years that falls under the rigging realm. Yeah, something else that we've got into, we've probably been doing for 10, 12 years or better, is bow thrusters. Mm-hmm. That falls under our realm in rigging as well. We kind of team up with the fiberglass department. They cut the hole and put the fiberglass tube through, and then we'll come in as a rigging department and put the motor and the prop and all the wiring, control wiring, and the joystick on the dash to actuate it. That's something else that's been a big seller over the last 10 years. It goes right hand in hand. It's, maneuvering systems,
Right.
joystick steering, stern thrusters is something we do periodically, and bow thrusters.
You kind of make light of the wiring. The amount of just
Stuff.
chaos back there to me is overwhelming. And,
well,
and it's nice to have somebody here that can make sense of that, but also make it look like it's factory.
right. Well, that's kind of all part of the South Shore experience. When we do anything from rigging to mechanical to fiberglass bottom paint, what have you, we kind of try and keep our services to a higher level. And yeah, when you pull the dash back on a boat like this, it has a tiltable dash, which is something an end user could get back there and see. You don't want to see a spaghetti mess back there. You want to keep everything tied up nice and neat and ran in uniform and labeled fuses, so if there is an issue, you can troubleshoot quickly. In interfacing backbones properly, labeled and put in place. There's more to the behind the scenes. After you've done it for a good number of years, it kind of gets to be second nature. But yeah, there's a little bit that goes into that as well.
It's Greek to me.
The cutting of the dash and putting of the displays in the dash is what everybody sees and understands, but it's a very small portion of the process of rigging this boat.
It's always amazing to me that we take a brand new boat and we cut holes in it, and like I said before, we trash it before it makes better.
Right. It's a little intimidating, and for the guys that have just started to cut a couple of big holes in the dash of a $350,000 boat, but it's something that we do every day and pretty comfortable doing it at this point.
Well, Gary, we're very lucky to have you. One of the best in the industry is Gary Werkner, one of our riggers here at South Shore Marine. SouthShoreMarine.com is the website. Please feel free to check us out. Any of your electronics needs, depth sounders, as Gary mentioned, we've got a ton of different options for new and aftermarket installations. So appreciate you joining us, Gary. Thanks again.
Thank you, Will.